Love and greetings to you. I am Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. This is a cool topic. And the reason why it's a cool topic is because I'm going to really be able to help you. You're going to start seeing your marriage really differently, hopefully, and you will have some bearings, which means you will have some direction. So the topic is how to fix a marriage after growing apart. And this is for women, exclusively for women. This is not for men. And the reason I separate these, because I'll have one for men too, is because women are different than men. Your perspective is different than a man's perspective about everything. And so you'll be able to understand things in the context from your point of view for your marriage, and it'll be much more beneficial. We used to do videos that this would be a generic title, I do how to fix a marriage after growing apart, but I realized, no, we have to address this by the gender. So, first of all, your marriage grew apart, basically in a nutshell, because you didn't know how to be married. We are not taught how to be married in our world. Proof of that is that over 50% of marriages break up. The ones that don't break up, the lucky 45%, most of those are unhappy. That's why there's so many marriage therapists out there who don't help, by the way. Western psychological approaches do not help your marriage. We can, and we will. And don't forget to go to our website and get the download, 10 most important do's and don'ts for marriage. It'll really benefit you, and it'll put you on our mailing list as well. So, how to fix your marriage after growing apart? Well, first of all, let's understand, it doesn't take long for your marriage to have begun growing apart. Now, they talk about the honeymoon years. Sometimes it's years, usually it's months, and the growing apart is subtle. The reason why is because you did not realize that your marriage is uniquely adaptable to evolution in a positive way. Literally, marriage is designed so that every day is supposed to be better. You're supposed to be happier every day. You're supposed to feel deeper love and appreciation for your husband every single day. And your harmony is supposed to increase to the point of where it's like in a movie where you're ending each other's sentences or saying what was on their mind and like that. But more than that, if there's this connection that you have with your husband that wasn't cultivated. And that's why you're drifting. In this world, there is no, everything is either moving up or down. It's just the law of the universe, you might say. So what do you do now? You grew apart. And that is probably, if you're searching for this question, it's probably pretty grown apart already. So go back. I'm going to give you different levels. First level is go back and think about how you treated your husband when he was your boyfriend, or when he was your suitor, or when you had just met him. Simple things. How often did you smile at him? And I'm not talking about after you got to know him a while. In the very beginning, when he was so drawn to you that he would text you all the time, call you all the time, leave you notes and give you flowers and all of that stuff, you stopped smiling. You did. In those days, would you argue with him? Would you tell him, no, I don't agree with that? No. You were patient, understanding, you listened, you were respectful. Men need to be respected. It's part of how a woman shows her love to her man. Just like a woman wants to be heard, So a good man will listen to his wife talk about things that he really doesn't normally have much interest in, but he becomes interested in it because he loves his wife. So that's how the gender thing works. So men need to be respected, admired. So when was the last time you told him how cool he was, how awesome he is, how much you admire him effectively? You see, so when you first met, you were right there. So this is just surface behavior, because I'm not going to stop here. But if you make a list of the things that you did and now don't do, and then make a list of the things you now do that didn't do, the negatives, like argue with him, complain, bitch and moan. Men don't have a lot of tolerance for that. You will see just on the surface how much you can do to bring back those glory days just by changing your behavior, because your behavior begets his behavior, then his behavior begets your behavior. This is the cycle. And you should be on an upward trajectory with this cycle where it's all positive. And believe me, if you start shifting, he will too. It just happens. But there's something deeper, much deeper. We are not taught this in the world. And it's really, really important. What's the purpose of marriage? You don't know. I know you don't know, because I didn't know when I started doing all this. See, I wasn't a Western psychologist. Almost 23 years ago, or a little more now, I was a divorce mediator. I used to help people get a divorce. And then a couple asked me to help save their marriage. And so I had to do a deep dive into what marriage is all about. And I'm not a psychologist. I don't want to be a psychologist. I looked at it differently. I went, well, what is it that we want from marriage? How am I going to help this couple get what they want from marriage? I don't want to fix them. I don't want to listen to them. They're bitching and they're griping about what he does, what she does. It doesn't do any good, and I knew that because I used to help those people get a divorce. Wanted to know, what should they do positively to improve their marriage? Well, what does an improved marriage look like? What's that all about? Number one, happiness. We get married because we fell in love with our soulmate. It's a real term. We're souls. And we find our soulmate because we want to be happy with them for the rest of our lives. We want to live in this sacred harmony with them. That is our world. I even coined a phrase. I call it the sacred space of marriage. But it doesn't just happen by itself. Marriage is not a ride at Coney Island. You need to cultivate your love for your husband. You need to be receptive to his needs. A lot of women go, I'm not interested in having sex all the time anymore. What's wrong with you? That's not going to help. There's a lot of things we do in this world for others that are not convenient at the moment. Maybe it's not convenient to have sex with him right now, but you do it because you love him and you want to show your love and your loyalty. You now need to start doing those things that you used to do. Stop doing those things that you didn't do, like complaining and arguing. And most importantly, start cultivating your heart's love for him again. Start seeing him and making sure your mind doesn't distract you by pointing out his flaws. We all have flaws, but focus on your heart's love for him. Cultivate that and watch what happens. he's human. He's going to respond to that very, very favorably. We have a course for women. We have a course for men. We have books. Go to our website. Look at what we have. Maybe you'll get more help there. Depends on how bad things are right now. But we can help you. We advise strongly against getting Western psychological counseling. It breaks up marriages. We see it constantly. We've been doing this for a long time. We have a lot of experience. Our success rate is off the charts because our approach is so different and it works. Look, don't despair. You have free will, you have volition. Put smart things into practice and you won't have a marriage that is drifting apart anymore. You'll have a marriage that is coming back together, fulfilling, filled with love and joy. That's what we want for you here. I'm Paul Friedman and I founded the Marriage Foundation. Like this video. Share it on social media if you want. Come back. Visit us. Get to know us. We really can help you with your marriage. God bless you. God bless your husband and take care.